Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and I am here finally with my long-delayed flip through of my June Frankenplanner. So this video is a long time coming just because it has been super busy around here, but I wanted to at least try to get this video up. So it's like almost the end of July and I'm just now doing this flip through, so a lot of this information I don't even know what's in here at this point. It has been just so long, but I do know that I was in a big happy planner for most of June, and I did use a couple of daily pages, and so there's a lot of like very functional stuff in here. I did move into functional planning in June. I do have right now the planner set up on expander discs. These are from the Squad Goals. Sorry, this is from the Gold Wild tote that released on the Happy Planner website. And then I have this cover, which is flipped inside out. The cover itself actually looks like this, right? And so that's what it looks like. And so what I'm going to do is actually flip through the June sections. I actually have lots of papers from like for June, and then lots of papers. I am still using this in July, and so I'm really just going to be flipping through the June section of it. And so let's go ahead and get set up and get to where I need to go for June. Again, like I have all sorts of stuff in here. Okay, so June kind of started right here. And again, like it's like towards the end of July at this point, so a lot of this I might have to blur out. I just really don't know what's even in here, but I do know that one of the things that I was doing again was using a combination of Happy Planner, big Happy Planner pages, some tool daily pages, and then I was Frankenplanning. So I wanted to show you what this looked like before I kind of like reorganized everything and put it together. But what I did was in June, I did this kind of setup where I did a layered effect with the weekly pages. And so on the big page was my personal and work schedule. And then on this classic size page, I was keeping a food log. And then on the mini size pages, I was keeping my social media. And then I used like these just random pages to keep my budget. And so it's kind of layered like this. And I did every week have the corresponding week, but you can see as I flip through that, like, you know, it just kind of like gets moved. And so what I'm going to do is take all of these pages out and kind of set them to the side and show you those separately. I'll just walk through the personal planner for right now. And so yeah, just give me a few minutes just to reorganize. Okay, so I've got it all kind of broken down to its sections. This is the food log, this is social media, and this is budget. I'll flip through all this separately as well after I do my personal section. So that will be there just to flip through. But let's start with my personal weekly, and then we'll do the personal daily, and then those sections up there. So what I did for the Big Happy Planner was basically use it very functionally. This week I did decorate. You can see I have some stickers laid down. I did use it just for June, so I started June 1st, listed all my events, tasks, used the to-do list. This little section I did cover up. I know that this is just like kind of a negative journal note to myself, so I did cover that up. And then here we're moving into the next week. Again, just to-do lists, events, notes to myself, some faith journaling down here. I use this to track my work hours. Just move that out of the way, just might be a little bit distracting. All right, and then here again, same deal. It's pretty straightforward. I moved away from using stickers altogether, right? And so then here we have my, I was gonna say my last week, but it's not actually the last week. And then here it moves into this separate, like these pages, which I just ended up not using. And so really I should have taped it down and just flipped straight into this. And you can see here, I really fell off the last week, right? So then I decided kind of like June 8th, I think that's pretty much the beginning date, I decided to reincorporate daily pages in here. And so I moved into using a combination of basically random scrap papers as well as like tool daily pages. We had a lot happening in June, like we bought a car, we decided to buy a house, so there's a lot of like personal information in here that will end up being blurred out. And then here again, just a random sheet of paper, I just wrote down some notes in my messy handwriting. You can see that. All right, and then here is the tool daily page. This is what it looks like. It's a daily with an hourly on one side, and then like a section for to-do lists, and it's just a daily 1 day per page, per one page kind of layout. And it was outdated, so I just whited out all the incorrect information. And again, it's just pretty functional, right? Again, like this will be blurred out just because this is stuff from Sophia's dance, right? Random notes to myself on like just a random like post-it note that I stuck in here, right? And again, I'm blurring out some of this stuff, all right? We move into like a very simplified form of like just putting down the big events here, and then I do use this for journaling as well. So as like I start to eat things or like just need to make notes of things, and then my to-do list, right? And yeah, so that's pretty much the setup. Every once in a while you'll see that I go into like using post-it notes and I just stick them right in there just because that's how my life was, right? I'm like packing, trying to reorganize and get things kind of settled for the move. Yeah, so all of that's just really messy, right? Again, some of this will be blurred out just because personal, like medical notes actually. Skipping some of this stuff. Here's some financials for, yeah, so I'm skipping all of that, all right? But I just like kind of punched all these pages in and just kind of put it straight in here. I'm trying to decide, I think I must have skipped the 16th here, but anyway, some days I do skip if I feel like there are enough like pages to cover like all the things I need. All right, so here I'm moving into the 17th. Again, pretty simple. Some stuff here blurred out. I'll just actually take that out so you can see that. All right, so that's what that looks like. Here is Father's Day. I'll put this right back in here, right? And then this was the federal holiday, Juneteenth, and so Sophia was at home with me. Here we got just all the notes related to like house stuff. Like it's mostly house stuff, right? Here's stuff that I'll have to blur out. These are like financial notes that I was making to myself to try to like make sure that we could stay on budget with the new house. Same thing here, like bunches of pages here. I'm sorry I have to blur out so much, but it's just one of those things, right? Here's a copy of the contract. Yeah, it's just, there's just so much happening with what we have to do with like buying a house, right? So that's all there. Right, and I'll just cover this up so you can kind of see here. I did use a random sheet of paper and started trying to like make some major notes here. Yeah, so it's just a super messy list here. Again, I'll have to blur that out, right? Moving on. I didn't use the back side, but again, here's some more sticky notes blurred out just because those are our numbers. Not quite comfortable sharing like exactly how much we spend for that, right? And again, some of this will be blurred out, like this business card right here. We're doing all sorts of things like getting a real estate agent so that way we could sell our house, all of those things, right? So this is just like all the notes just landing on a page, all right? And then again, like random sticky notes in here, right? Planning gets super messy in my world, especially when there's so much happening. So at the end of the month, you can see I have a note here with Google Calendar. All the stuff that's written in purple, I basically just typed it into my Google Calendar and then I transferred it to here after the fact. I just like to have it on paper, so that's all there. And again, some of this stuff will be blurred out, just more financial stuff. And then we're moving here into the end of the month with the final sheets of paper. And then, yeah, there we go. So there are a couple of like additional pages here, some of which I can't show you just because, well, actually I covered it up. So this was the page that I had to kind of track all of the advising I was doing for work. And then I had a page here. This is for July, so just ignore that. But this is the page I was using to track all of my social media. And I ended up really liking this system. And so you'll see later when I flip through the social media section that I pretty much stopped using the social media weekly just to use this sheet, right? So I'm going to try to cover this up just because I think this will be distracting. I'm going to stick in this random cover just because I feel like it is a little bit distracting just to see my rating for July. You'll see that page in July. Maybe I should use the back cover as well. We'll put it like this so that way you can kind of see everything. All right, so the first thing here is, or like the second thing, I just flipped through all of my personal section. Here is my food log. And so I was using a classic size Happy Planner. This is the food recipe planner. I don't remember the exact like style or layout that they're calling it, but it's the food planner. And so I used basically just the weekly pages for it. I did try to use this like beginning section of it, but I didn't really love it. You know, I'm just planning out like the meal kits that I wanted to order for June. And so I wrote those out, but I didn't really love that. So I stopped using that. But then this is really just me tracking my food. I don't plan in here. I basically just have an idea of what I do want to eat, you know, since I do use meal kits. So I have to pick my meals ahead of time. So obviously I'm going to cook those meals, but here is really just writing out what I need to eat every day. I am like diabetic, and so I have to track all of my numbers and all that type of stuff. So like these are just all the notes that I have related to that, right? And that's pretty much it. Again, just pen to paper, just a quick flip through of that. And I did stop right at June 30th, right? So that's the first section. The second one, I'm just putting it in here just because it's going to be easier to flip. The second section is social media. And here I just track all the things I'm posting for YouTube in this first section, and then anything for Instagram, which I did not do anything in June, I don't think. And then any just random planner related or social media related notes, I'll put in like these bottom few sections. And so here I was very good about recording YouTube videos. And then here I was like really doing a huge like decluttering of like, or like organizing of my planner space. So lots of notes related to that. And then I recorded up to here and then kind of fell off, it looks like, but basically I started using that like check sheet that I showed you a little bit earlier, like this sheet right here, to track some of this stuff. So I just pretty much stopped using it, and you can see here I just stopped using it altogether. Yeah, so it's completely empty here for the second half of June. All right, and then the last page here, I need it to be in order though, is going to be my budget. Now for budget, I basically just kept like a register. What I did was just use these like random sheets of paper that I had, and I just wrote out all the purchases that I made, and I would check it when it cleared my bank. I do use a cashless system, like where I do have everything in categories, but I do pull it all from the same account and just make sure that they're correctly categorized through my bank, or through Mint, the app, M-I-N-T. And so on Mint, I make sure that all of my transactions are categorized correctly. And so once they're on Mint, I just check them off as like completed, right? And so it's pretty much just like all of my purchases, which I bought a ton. A lot of stuff in the first half of June was really related to like travel planning, vacation planning. We were planning a big trip, which we just took actually, to Disney, and so like lots of notes related to that. And then like a lot of this is, you know, once we decided in the second half of June to buy a house, I just cut it off at that point. And so there's very few purchases in the second half, just because we were, you know, at that point we've of course saved money throughout, but like we had to be much more intentional about like not trying to spend random dollars on like random things, right? Yeah, so I feel like, you know, there's lots of stuff that was blurred out, especially in the personal section, but mostly it was like a really busy month. June has been busy, July has been extra busy. And so, yeah, you'll see a lot of that kind of come up in July. One of the things I was very good at in June was still writing things down. In July, I feel like I still was doing very good with writing things down, but it was not in as consistent of a system. So you'll see kind of what that looked like in July, which I'll try to post much earlier in August. Again, like these were all kind of layered in there, so I'll just kind of keep this in here so that way I'll have all this information together for June. And then eventually, once I know that I won't need these notes anymore, they will end up getting recycled, and I can just move on into June, make sure all my tasks and things like that are transferred over into July. I said June, but I meant July, are transferred and like archived, stored, all that type of stuff, just for a few months, so that way I know that I don't need any of this stuff. And then we're going to be moving into July, and especially into August, when I will start back at work. We'll be moved into our new house, hopefully by August. And so yeah, all that type of stuff. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this flip through. I hope like the functional planning is something that you enjoy seeing. I love functional planning. It helped me keep my sanity in June, and so I was very happy to continue with the system in July. And in July, it has also helped me keep my sanity. Like this month has been just extremely crazy busy, as I've mentioned already, and it has kept me on track and like doing all the things that I need to do. So I'm very excited about being able to paper plan and be functional with it. And you know, like in this time of life, with the like chaos and the messiness of my life right now, with all the boxes surrounding my space and like just all the things happening, I just don't really need the stickers. The stickers are fun, but I just need to be able to write things down. And so that is what I did. And so that's what my June looked like. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel. And until the next video, bye guys.